Surprise!
Yeah, welcome to another episode of How Did You Get There with your hosts, Stephen and Jeffrey. This is a little show where we talk about thoughts, ideas, opinions, and beliefs, but not necessarily the people that hold them.
That's right, and we are going to make some opinions today, and we're going to discuss some things, and those are our opinions, not Jess FM, anybody named Jess, people with those letters distributed randomly through their name. None of those people. This is on us. So yeah, point the fingers where they belong. See, if I point like this, there's three fingers pointing back at you.
That's right. That's well done, sir. Well done. Take that, gentle viewers.
Huzzah!
So today, I have.
How did you get there?
How am I gonna get there? Initially, and I've always been a fan of the science fiction and the world buildings that happen. The fact that people were writing about these ideas, in the 1800s, about what's it like on a different planet.
That's just escapism, I think.
A little bit.
Because this one was kind of crap.
And then it's also in the media that it might be beneficial for the survivability of humanity to not have all our eggs on the Earth basket.
True. It's a lovely place to live, but I wouldn't want to live there.
Right. Or that, existentially there are things that could happen to Earth that would eliminate humans, and all the other animals. Because that's also a thing you might think about when you want to go off-world. So then that came to me, if that is the case, that we need to do this, what kind of options do we have for not being glued to Earth so that humans and things humans care about carry on?
Yeah, and I think we probably, for the purposes of brevity, that is to say keeping it in this time, need to just sort of scooch past the philosophical notion of why we think we should.
Yeah. We just have to assume that it is the necessity.
Let's jump the shark and say, let's assume that we need to or want to and should keep the humans / humanity / the notion that we are human alive. And go, okay, so given all of that, how?
Yeah.
And my first hot take that I encountered in this, and I've given this lots of various thought over the years. So
that's the thing. It's sort of an accumulation of ideas today.
Yeah, raised on Heinlein and Asimov. So that's where my biases are. But the hot take I got was, we are just as likely to have magic and dragons as we are to have interstellar life, interstellar human life. It requires the same degree of magic.
Well,
right?
I've got some contention for you on that one.
And I don't necessarily know that I buy it, but I understand the spirit in which it is presented, which is every example we have in media of us being interstellar relies on some kind of magic.
Yeah. That is absolutely the avoidance of Clark Tech, as it were, right? So quickly, Clark Tech in my framework is because a fella once, Arthur C. Clarke, said,
"Art, what'd you do?"
any technology significantly advanced could be perceived as magic.
Yeah.
And so, in our efforts to do this, we should try and steer away from things that don't exist yet completely. Like, they could be on the development table, and I'm good with that. And I don't mean just a sketch. I mean, like, there's actual engineering
steps proof of concept wise towards
the outcomes.
Like freezing people and thawing them.
Yeah. And so the thawing people is a problem, right? But it is on the table. It is a thing that's happening. There is proof of concept out there.
Yep, and it's
probably a long ways away still, but it's So is building a thing to get us off the planet.
Yeah, not certain.
In quantity.
I think one of the, and depending on how far we want to go with our frozen people, we need to worry about freezer burn. Like just freezer dehydration. How do you keep them hydrated?
Oh, absolutely. So that brings up two different things. So there's a couple of scenarios we can launch out. There's more than a couple, actually. We're going to send out a colony ship. In my mind, that is actually the first colony. Isn't the where that ship is headed? It is the ship itself. Because I promise, once you get to wherever it's going, you ain't dropping down day one ready to go. You're probably going to want to spend like your first decade or two on the ship preparing the groundwork.
Yes.
You're probably never going to leave that ship. Probably in a century it'll be some historical artifact and museum of your adventure of how you've made that civilization. Ideally. You run into bottlenecks on humans if you get like lower than 10,000 people. Like a pretty rapid sense. You would with just 10,000 people in the long run, but we're just doing the primary colony. This is the Mayflower of no, because that's full of reasons not to call it that. But it's anyways the first colony ship.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I had this entire stack building of yabbits.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, but.
So then
I hate that guy.
There's I can't, the names always escape me. Give me moments. Oh yes. So the most common thing that we've seen in our sci-fi is what's the Stanford Torus.
Yeah.
Which is a great big ring with a stick through the middle and some stuff. And most of the people live on the ring.
Star donut.
It makes for the gravities.
It simulates the thing that is gravity.
The rough math is roughly 200 million tons worth of stuff to make one for 10,000 people. Which, not bad, really. Right? The assembling of such things, this is the logistics. So we have the technology to do this. We can land a thing on an asteroid, we can move an asteroid, we can put that asteroid in position, harvest its minerals. We can do this. We don't, and it's super cost ineffective right now. But it is technology that does exist. We do have fusion drives.
Yep.
No, we have fission drives.
Fission drives.
We have fission drives. Calculated to move your 200 million tons of orbit thing is roughly the Earth's supply of energy in a day, or in a year. Inertia and all that still happens in space. Like, just because there's no friction doesn't mean the thing is moving, other than being part of the galactic flow. It's basically stationary, right? So we got to move that thing, but really that's only like 2 million tons of plutonium or uranium, and that will last you roughly 200 years. So we can get the thing going, we can power it up, it can last for quite a while.
Yeah.
So we can either build it like that.
Is hydrogen scooping a thing?
It can be. It can be, but that's just a bonus if we've got the fusion by then, right? We can just on our way past Uranus grab all the H3 we need and keep going.
True. Yeah.
Right. We get into like planetary mining and coaster mining and space elevators. That's a little further down the road, but like in terms of stuff we can do and build
elevator mining and space coasters.
Yes, this great space coaster sort of dips down into the atmosphere, scoops back up, goes to your space station, goes back down.
Nice.
You keep supplying your space station with H3, so everything on its way out of the solar system can stop there, load up, and
then Gary Gnu tells you what's going on.
The great space coaster,
get on board.
So that's a common one, is the Torus. It would hold 10,000 living people breathing with food and land and a place to bury people on your way. Like, it would have all of those things. You probably wouldn't. You'd probably jettison them, but you might compost them. I don't know.
I've just recently re-wondered about flying saucers. I realize this is about our perception of people coming here. But there is no good reason to make saucer-shaped things if you're running them through space. unless it's your Taurus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In which case, it's a little impractical when you want to make them stationary.
Yeah, you need this thing to be stationary but spinning in place.
Right, so when we see flying saucers, we usually see them spinning, but not at a speed that would actually create enough centripetal force to actually make a gravity simulation. And if you're near a planet, you probably want to slow that down because you're going to have gravitational effects. And you don't want to have that spinny thing if you have like a T-bar and you spin it, it will spin, and then the T will flip to the other side, and it will spin, and the T will flip to the other. And you don't want to have that happen with your ship.
Your Taurus would do that. It's built that way. So an easier,
which is why there's 2 spikes on it.
Yeah. Better choice, practically speaking, would be an O'Neill cylinder.
Yeah.
It's easier to scale, easier to build, because it's just make a circle and fill it. You stuff it inside one of those old asteroids that you've just emptied out to build it. They're pretty straightforward things. So if you're doing 10,000 living people, you can roughly do 1 million frozen people in the same amount of space. Yeah, for the same amount of power.
Yeah. Again, I still
there's
a whole lot of magic involved in
the freezing of people.
In freezing people. But we could do generation.
So yes, but that's a different. So if we do, generation's cool, and I know some of the problems with this. And
so do I. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a
second.
sec.
So if we send out either colony ship, so of these 2 options of colony ship, the frozen people ship and or the populated living ship, if you send out your frozen people, there is not an ongoing continuity. There's just this however long it takes to
however long they're in a coma.
And then get up, do a thing, right? Yeah. The other end of it is if I send out my generation ship, there is some continuity. There is a culture of exploration. However, odds of the people landing at destination being the same as the people going out in the first place, very low. And so your grandkids may not be so keen to be on this little space adventure with you.
Yeah, when the first generation realizes that they have been condemned to live in a cylinder/Taurus for their entire life.
Mm. Condemned is a weird word. That's like being like.
Yeah,
but I know what you mean.
Oh, I completely picked the inflammatory word there.
Yeah,
it was like.
But they mean they volunteered, perhaps.
Well, not the ones that are born there.
No, that's what I mean. You mean the first generation
born on it.
Oh yeah, they're born into slavery, as it were.
And then they're gonna want to separate.
Mm-hmm. They might.
It's gonna be I think the generational ship problem is one of politics.
For the most part, yes.
Right.
Schisms, factions. You got 10,000 people in a thing. They're not all going to be like-minded.
Yeah, and you might need more than 10,000.
Odds are pretty good. 30,000 is a really happy number to not have genetic breakdown at any level.
Yeah, and if you want to maintain something that looks like today's modern society here, mm-hmm. you probably need closer to 250,000.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which is
so that's the baby steps approach.
Yeah.
So let's look at 2 of our nearest. Well, okay, a group that's sort of near, and then another star over here. So all of the Centauri stars.
The Centauri cluster?
There are 3. There's the binary system and then Proxima. Proxima is close.
Yeah, it's only 4.3 million light years away.
And optimistically, our O'Neill cylinder or your Taurus might be able to get up to 2 or 3% that speed.
Right. So
we could go faster, just incredibly hard to stop once you do.
You don't actually gain much because you have to spend as much time slowing down as you spend speeding up.
Exactly. So if you only get to a certain point, that's an optimal point. 5 is sort of the max if you're going to stop somewhere, just for practicality purpose, or until we invent mega magic engines. but they don't exist.
Yeah, I always want, or inertial dampeners.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Sure.
I love Star Trek.
Yeah, gravity plates.
How do we? I still think I know how to make gravity plates, but it won't ever work.
Yes, right.
The decks would be like this.
Yeah, they would. Yeah,
but you could do it, I think.
But artificial gravity is encompassed in an O'Neill cylinder, or even the Bernal sphere. Bernal sphere is just a wild thing. This guy invented this concept in like 1912, and then refined it in the 70s. He's like, "Oh, look, I have new space data that I can actively apply to my idea, not just all theoretical knowledge.
I can be brainy now.
Yeah, well,
I can be sciencey.
I can apply data to my sciencey nature." So that blew me away. But it's not very zoomable. It doesn't have outward thrust capability as easily.
Man, if you could like drag one along with you, and then when you get there, you can set it spinning or whatever you got to do with it in orbit.
Oh yeah. We don't have self-replicating repair nanobots yet either, which would definitely make an infinite journey no problem. But we're not doing that. We have to use things we have, right? So what you would want to do, what I suggest you would want to do, in our current scenarios, is some stepping stones, as it were. So, like, to me, Mars is not a grand option if our final concern is the sun. Because for sure, at some point, sun will consume Earth.
So if the motivator for us leaving Earth is the demise of the sun,
it will
Mars is a terrible choice because it will also be...
Well, at the very least, it will have its atmosphere ripped all the way off. At the very least.
Yeah. It doesn't have very much right now.
Nope, but all the way off, and then pretty much irradiate.
I want you to get off my back, all the way off that thing.
Let me get off of that for you. But it will definitely like hyper irradiate that area because A, no atmosphere, B, really close sun. So it's not a great choice for a long-term project, but it would be a nice stepping stone.
It's like, man, the Earth is getting too warm. We should find another continent.
Yes, that is basically what's going on.
It sucks in Europe. We need to go somewhere else.
Yeah. Same sort of thinking. Yeah. It is the same sort of thinking. We need more space.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. But like the Oort cloud, which is sort of just beyond the heliosphere. The
heliosphere?
Yeah. It's so that it's not affected by this radiation all the time. It does require you to have, all of that plutonium or uranium so that you don't, die. But you could build a thing there.
Yeah.
And then...
the debris in the Oort cloud is very close together relative to space.
Yes, exactly true. It is one of those things that made me sad when I learned that you really could just fly through an asteroid field and you wouldn't have to turn. It looks all rocky and crowded, but it isn't really.
There is a statistically significant chance, a noticeable probability of hitting something, but it is low. But it is not. It is non-zero.
You'd have to try. I think is more the case, right?
It's a non-zero probability, but it's pretty low.
Yeah. But there's lots of that stuff out in that area. Unknown elemental compositions, but I'm sure some of it will be like iron, aluminum.
Yeah, I have a high degree of confidence that we're not going to find unobtainium out there.
No, yeah, yes. That's a fun brain experiment for people. Be like, what if there's a different element in that other galaxy? Tell you what, you tell me what atomic number that would be, and tell me how it's not one that already exists. It's kind of a weird thing. Like, there are numbers between 0 and 1, but
and
it's not quite the same.
So when I find something that's this, that's an isotope of this thing that we already know.
Yes.
So we're kind of limited to
the stuff we already know.
Yeah.
I even looked
into the probability of like super higher numbered ones. is increasingly unlikely, especially in any kind of stable, long-term existing. We've created some that probably won't normally exist anywhere except in experimental conditions.
I got into a discussion with an actual chemist about these things.
Ooh.
Yeah, Stephen Boyd. If ever you guys want to learn about why nuclear reactors are the wave of the future, he's got a book for you. Anyway, I saw an article with an attached paper. It seemed spurious to me, but it seemed plausible.
Right.
So I fired this idea past the chemist. He's like, no. But basically, a lot of our unstable elements we're able to keep because cold, right? We're able to slow them down enough that they can be stable for microseconds.
Yeah, long enough to see them.
Yes. So then this paper submitted that these elements might exist naturally in the coldness of the space. To which, the proper chemist said, no. It just isn't. The particles themselves can't.
The conditions under which they are spawned aren't in the cold of space.
Right.
Even if we had the cold of space, they would only last for a few milliseconds. But making them and keeping them are mutually incompatible, typically.
Yes. So it's not that they don't occur naturally in space. It's just they won't persist. Right. That was basically.
And what would we do with them if they did?
Maybe an energy source.
If I had one, if I could create one of these things and split it in the same nanosecond that it's around, the potential energy is good.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I can do that.
No,
but they're easier. They're big, so they're easy to hit.
That's kind of, I think that was the goal when trying to create them, is looking for an easier split.
Yeah, so because we run our nuclear reactors on uranium.
For the most part, yes.
Or
thorium.
Thorium or something up in that sort of general class. We don't run them on hydrogen because hydrogen is hard to hit.
Mm-hmm.
But uranium and plutonium and
they're bigger enough.
They're giant compared to a hydrogen, right? So it's super easy to hit.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason we can hit a hydrogen is because we hit it with so much of it. We just hit so much all at once.
We shotgun hydrogen. We pinpoint accuracy uranium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just think if we could just somehow just have this steady store of unobtainium. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the highest numbered element.
Yttrium? No, it's going to be mendelevium or somebody
way up high. Yeah. Something up there.
One of the ones named after people.
Yeah, we can get
Einsteinium.
Yiter?
Yeah.
Ytterbium,
I think.
It's up there. It's somewhere up there. And we get one of those. We had a steady stream of those. Just think of the power. But how do we get them since we have to make them?
And it requires power to make it.
Oh right, yeah.
It's like we can turn lead into gold, but it takes more energy, money.
And that gold doesn't actually last very long.
No, because it's not stable.
It's not stable gold, and it's going to cost way too much money.
Mm-hmm. But so back to
let's write off all of that magic.
But we do have nuclear reactors.
We do.
And they are sufficient power and longevity.
Nuclear. Thanks, George W.
Yeah. Nuclear.
Yeah. Anyway, so
nucleus.
Nuclear.
But odds of us finding a random rock with a bit of enough uranium on it between here and anywhere, pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
A lot of it arrived here from somewhere else anyway.
No gold naturally occurred on Earth. It all came from somewhere.
It's weird. Because it came from somewhere.
Yeah. Stellar fusion.
Yeah.
It's like star go boom, bigger elements made.
Right.
Right. We just have a newer star, so it wasn't.
Because it burns down, and as it does, it's the fission that's happening is happening on heavier and heavier material, and the density continues to crush things together, and weird things happen at high densities and temperatures.
Yes, exactly. Both are very much required, but star go boom, that's where we get the biggest of the elements.
Man, if we could just get a star and put it inside a container and make a star drive.
Somebody made like a miniature universe instead of a container.
I want to know what you mean, but I
mean exactly how the headline sounds.
Universe.
Yep.
How can we have more than one of those?
Well, because this one's little. I understand. I don't make the words. I just apply the headlines.
All right.
Yep. Otherwise, I mean, they proved multiverse theory is possible by doing so. Just a thought.
True. Possibly.
Yeah.
They've demonstrated, not proved, but sure.
Yes, better choice. Yes. They have provided evidence that.
It's not unpossible.
That's right.
We just use words differently, then it's possible. Everything's possible if you use words differently.
Yes. Absolutely true.
So when we as we put the bumpers on the bowling alley here.
Yeah.
So we take one quick step to the Oort cloud.
I mean, by quick, assuming our rapid 2 to like 5% the speed of light, it would take us about a year and a half or so to get there. And
everybody who goes, oh, well, what about time dilation? Well, I think we should probably just also assume that if we're going, we're not coming back.
This is the reason to make stepping stones, though, is in case someone likes, I can't do this. There's another 87 years ahead of me before we get to any of the Centauris. So I think I'll turn around now, right?
Yeah. But at some point, there's going to be, I can only turn around, I can only go back.
It'll be longer. It'll be farther back than forward. But using the same technology, which also we can do, we can use like a solar sail, but we can also power that with a stationary laser. So on step 1, when we build our first little...
Where do we put the laser?
On just whatever our first colony ship that goes out that far in Parks.
I gotcha.
Right? We move our first O'Neill cylinder out there.
Right.
That is colony 1. We put on a laser because it can hold itself in position while it's pushing with a laser this way. Yeah. It can thruster this way.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. I'm with you.
Yep. Yeah, I'm aware of physics. I get it.
You can't put the laser on the thing that you're pushing.
No. But you can put it at your first space station. So so this is where the 10 to 30,000 people number is okay, because all your follow-up ships will get there more quickly than your first go.
Yeah.
Right. So then you pick a spot that's another whatever 5-year jump. Everybody after that, you can get up to like maybe 20% the speed of light with all your laser pushes, and then at the other end there's laser stoppers, so you don't need to carry all that extra energy.
Well, there won't necessarily yet be laser stoppers, but
no, but like if you're the following up colony, right? All the supply runs.
There's more breaks. There's more breaks available. Yeah.
As you get going, right? You can't, again, that first ship's going slower than all the other ships. You could, I suppose, acquire minerals and just make little like relay beacons or something along your way, and then you don't have to stop and build a thing every time. You just start building and then just drop them off in transit is a possibility. We've been talking about live people and frozen people.
Yeah.
There are other options. And they're not awesome, and the concepts are on the table. The one we have the biggest, like we can record or code DNA. We can lab print meat. We're chucking ethics out the window, right? But we could then, in theory, lab print human.
Right. But if we lab print an adult human, how do we get it to know things?
They can still be educated. Like, how do we get any human to know things?
Well, one of the cool things about baby humans being small is we can move them around conveniently. A giant human?
But we could just clone out. We could just print them as babies. The DNA is the same. You don't print the full-grown adult.
Like I say,
But like, so I've got 80 years, right? So then, 18 years before destination, I start printing.
Yeah.
So, and then as I sit for the next 20 years above location, I continue to print. We take up less space, less energy.
Yep.
And then we can send that ship off to the next one, and it can do it again. And then we can send that ship off to the next one, and it can do it again. And then we send that ship off to...
Yeah, so
rather than... Actually, the weirdest one, this is a cool idea, and humans don't have the patience for this game. You put yourself at galactic position, stop, galaxy move.
And just wait.
And wait until a planet come by, boop, populate. Galactic stop, galaxy turn, populate.
Oh, that's so much more energy efficient.
Right, and it would only take roughly 1.2 million years to have like a small ring of humans around the galaxy. I know, right? So the futurist people, some of them are wackadoodle. Some of them actually look at like actual time scales and actual physics and things that actually apply.
What it is, Reed. However big you think distances are in the universe, you're probably off by a factor of 1 billion.
Easily,
like that,
easily.
like statistically speaking.
Yeah.
Like however far you think 4.3 light years is.
Oh, I cannot.
It is 1 billion times farther than you think it is.
Probably. Yeah.
I mean, you could sit down and math it out, and then you're not wrong. But if I just ask you to pull it out of your cranium.
Yep. Which is ideally located, and
not you're not rectally inverted.
Your proctologist called. He's found your head. So
right. So if you're wondering where we are, so are we. We're in space right now.
We're halfway through space.
This is how did you get there? We're halfway through space. I'm Stephen. This is Jeffrey. We are your host on this intergalactic mind trip.
Yeah.
We're
trying to do practical. No,
we are attempting our best at considering the ideas for practical space travel that do not involve an unnecessary amount of magic. So we're kind of ruling out like the Star Trek
nothing FTL
warp drive.
Yes, nothing faster than light.
Nothing faster.
Not even really anything close to light. Because we just don't have that capability yet.
I mean, you could conceivably accelerate. Really, you could accelerate.
I guess, yeah, and
but then stopping again is going to also take time.
You could do it on a small scale if you accelerated constantly at 1G.
Yep,
you've already accomplished like half of your solar battle. You've got a livable workspace. The weird pivot thing turns, slow down, so you maintain that 1G. Gonna be an awkward week. Just gonna say, you guys are gonna hate that. So like more practical solutions are like an O'Neill cylinder at less than light speed.
If you could have the cylinder going and push the cylinder in the direction you want to go at 1G, when you slow down,
it would compensate on.
Can compensate on the spin.
Potentially, yeah.
Or it'll do the gyroscopic flip, and then you'll be fine, right?
Yep.
So none of that. So one of the Star Trek things that makes Star Trek one of the things that makes Star Trek plausible is the ability to instantly print anything.
Mm-hmm.
Humans, I mean, we don't call it human printing, we call it teleporters, but essentially it's human printing, but you can replicate food and girders and whatever else. Like, I don't know why, like, they have space shipyards instead of just
print them,
replicating a new ship.
Like, just build a bigger replicator?
Yeah.
At your shipyard, and then just poop out spaceships.
But they don't do that.
No, they make big beams and drag
They
them
probably
on.
replicate small parts.
Mm-hmm.
But then they trust people with their robot helpers to assemble them flawlessly as they go careening off into space at unimaginable speeds. Right? But just the sheer amount of energy to create a thing from available atoms and energy, it's magic.
Yes. To just randomly assemble from a random package.
Yeah,
yes.
we don't want to. We don't want to do that. It's like, but it does. If we have practical 3D printing, we still need to have some kind of material to print with. So where do we get our hydrocarbon and complex hydrocarbons like proteins and such to 3D print our humans?
Yeah.
So we need to like definitely be recycling our waste and our waste humans.
Yes, if we're doing stock live humans all the way. Otherwise, we just send vat of goo and printer and program to print.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be cheaper if we could just like not send a vat of goo?
I mean, yeah, but then we could like acquire carbon in the wild. I don't know.
I guess,
maybe.
But other things we'd also have to get other things. So vat of goo is kind of cool. Now I mentioned this in the pre-show that none of you got to see. Was
subscribe and we'll let you in on our. Nah, we're just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, it'd be cool, you know.
You could subscribe.
Oh, yeah, hit that smash that like and subscribe button. I don't know what you're subscribing to because I don't know where you're watching this.
Yeah, no doubt. We don't have channel memberships.
And who would, right? Like, I mean, maybe you would. Maybe we could set up a Substack.
True. So you're gonna bring up
Mickey 17. In the future, the world is kind of terrible.
Only in the future.
Oh, like even proportionally
worse than today.
Like imagine the squalor of stereotypical 1700s London. Now put that in the future and make the world a dust bowl.
Nice. Okay.
Right. That's the kind of horrible future. And if you can afford to live inside, you're good. And if you can't, you're sickly.
Mm-hmm.
And our hero Mickey is trying to. He thought the future was in making macarons. He got talked into it by a buddy, and they borrowed some money from a shady character, and so he has to flee the planet. Now, the only way that you can really practically flee the planet is, or that people will, is either altruism, fear, or fanaticism. Like those are really going to be the three drivers that will get people off the planet.
Yes, I think you're again. That points to humans and the quandary. But the novelty of ship 1 be pretty okay. It's getting ship 4 paid for and populated that's the trick. Because everybody that wanted to go is already gone on the first ship.
Yay, fanatics.
Yep.
Right. So our hero signs up because in this future time they figured out how to print people, and then they realized it was a terrible idea and fraught with ethical conundra. But if you're not on Earth laws don't apply. So with a little bit of finagling, our fanatics get their ship going, and they're allowed to have one, what they call, expendable. And this is the person who gets to be the first down on the planet. And they have like recordings, a recording device and telemetry so that
you can see how that
works.
did.
And you can then restore their memories in their new body. Like that's the magic. But it's just electricity in a giant chemical computer.
Yeah. That technology may or may not be near, but it's undergoing.
Yeah, I'm still going to keep it in the magic category.
Same.
Anyway, so they 3D print you, and then you carry on doing the thing. So and you get your memories right up to the last point where you were about where you died.
Lovely.
Right? So you can remember all of that. And it was interesting to me that the people that they picked to put on the ship going off to Niflheim.
Perfect.
It was great. It was a frozen planet.
Which is poorly translated as nipple hive. Sorry, I have a daughter that watches the anime versions of these things, and that was the translation.
Woof. And they arrive at their new planet, and they're spending some time on the ship getting prepared, to set the land up, to build the buildings, to do all the things. I mean, they do all the general right stuff, but they don't explain how fast the ship is going or where it's going, where this magic planet is. it is definitely a one-way trip, but still within communications range.
Ooh, okay.
For whatever reason, probably magic.
Yep.
And it's cool, but the guy that's convinced people to go and that this is a good thing is essentially a cult leader.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are we going to this event? Well, we're going to make pure human race here.
Yeah.
Whatever that means to those people, and they're all
on board.
They're all on board with it. And this one guy, and the only reason he's there is because he didn't want to die. Except that now his job is to die. And we could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not terrible if we could print people, but then we could just like print all the people.
Yep.
And do whatever we want with them.
Yep.
And I have concerns.
Yep.
But
no different than whatever propaganda that we feed the colony ship of living people.
Yep.
Yep.
You'll go to the land of milk and honey.
Yep.
Great. I'm allergic to bees. And lactose.
Not only that, there's no land.
Yeah. The space of space milk and space honey.
Space bees.
So
scary ones. They are boobies.
So maybe we don't do frozen people or jump hop steps.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we just do it all in one go as a generation.
Or two,
or 3, or 10, or however many generations it takes.
Mm-hmm.
What happens if the star lost?
Yes.
It lives large in my memory, and it didn't last for very long. It was a Canadian show.
Yep.
Partly written by Harlan Ellison.
Oh, wow. Neat.
Right? Trippy sci-fi writer guy.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea was it was a giant arc of people from Earth, but it had been in space and kind of been kind of fallen into out of where it was supposed to go. It was an arc of everybody, and different cultures and people lived in different pods, and they'd been out there so long that some sort of divergent evolution happened from pod to pod, and somebody figures out that the ship is not doing the right things, and so they are moving from pod to pod trying to get to the controls.
Neat.
Weekly, it was like Monster of the Week,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it was a cool idea, but it does sort of highlight the challenge of generational ships. It's like there will be divergent evolution between that which remains on Earth and that which travels in space for a number of reasons. So evolution works because how did one person put it? You live long enough to successfully fuck.
Yeah, basically.
Right?
Yep.
If you can pass on your genetic material,
you are fit enough.
You are fit enough. You don't have to be super fit. You just need to be...
Well, have fitment.
Yeah.
People conflate fit with strength.
Yeah, so as opposed to survival of the fittest, it means does it work for you in this environment? Mm-hmm. Right, if I can't touch my own shoulder.
If the environment doesn't change, the odds of you evolving differently are very, very low.
Right.
Like, even for 1 billion years, if it's the identical environment, there is no selection pressure for you to change.
Yeah. Although if you have chosen badly about what your unchanging thing, you will change to the optimal of that environment, and then you will stop.
Yeah.
Because things that are suboptimal will not flourish.
Exactly.
Right. So we end up with a bunch of gray people because we're all going to be the same color. Because we're all...
And we're generations out from ultraviolet light.
Right. So,
or whatever.
Yeah.
We could build a ship that has these things. I'm just saying. There's reasons that we might change, right? We might build our O'Neill cylinder, but its gravity is actually 0.8.
Yeah. And so we're slightly longer.
And not as strong.
And maybe we can't completely block out radiation.
Yeah.
And so the genetics that are slightly more predisposed to dying from radiation poisoning will get weeded out, and those who are much more resilient to radiation poisoning will persist.
Yep.
That sort of thing.
And then
as long as we don't do it all at once and completely irradiate ourselves out of existence. So let's assume success.
Yeah. And that's part of the, are we saving humans or humanity?
Yeah, so do we want... So if we're saving humans, what does that mean?
Right?
Like, how many kinds of human have existed on Earth?
Off the top of my head, it doesn't.
Yeah. Anything that starts with Homo something.
Mm-hmm.
And we are what? We are Homo sapiens sapiens? I think.
Essentially, yes.
So we're...
But like species level stuff is wiggly weird and not necessarily meh. But definitely genus stuff matters lots, right?
Right, so of the Homo genus...
The genus Homo.
Yes, as opposed to homogenous.
As opposed to being homogenous, correct.
Like Neanderthal
Homo
is in that same group.
Denosivans.
But they're not necessarily
Erectus.
the same of us.
No. And for funds, many of them lived all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's some cool. Also, our near partners, the Paranthropus.
Ooh, did we interbreed?
Maybe, but probably not.
There is some evidence that the Homo sapiens that we are and our genetic ancestors did interbreed with Neanderthals.
Yes, and Denosivans.
And those are evidenced in a number of DNA, but visible in physical structures.
Weirdly, Orientals are more prone to the inclusive of the Neanderthal gene.
Which is cool.
It isn't weird in my red hair, which would have been my expectation because northern living things, but they weren't. They were living in the warm climes at that time, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So,
I find that cool.
So we would end up with some kind of divergent.
Yeah. Paranthropus showed up at the same time Homo split off from Australopithecines. There was a Homo branch and a Paranthropus branch.
Yeah.
So we're that closely related. we're weird sister branches.
Yeah. So
also it explains Sasquatch people. Far
future studiers of the things that were human once we're all extinct.
Yeah.
Because we're probably going to be extinct.
Or at least those of us left on Earth probably will be.
Yeah, well,
I'm going to be in 60 years. I don't know.
Extinct doesn't apply. We don't usually apply extinct to individuals.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna bathe because I'm stinky right now. But after I bathe, I'll be extinct.
There you go.
I'm proposing for anybody in the future that digs up this record and wonders who we were, Homo sidereus.
Yes.
The evolution, which is the man of the stars.
Yes.
Made that up earlier today.
That was good.
With your help.
That was fun. I enjoyed. And really, that O'Neill cylinder that I am sending adrift as humanity's last bastion, right? Like we finally get this O'Neill cylinder away, and asteroid hits Earth.
Yep. So So the Earth ship Obi-Wan Kenobi, because it's our only hope.
Yes. Maybe. Right? And so that would actually be still humans in the broad sense and humanity persisting. Yeah. Like we would, in a sufficient O'Neill cylinder full of living people, not icebergs, we can have like animals in an ecosystem.
Arc.
Basically arc is what it would be. That was the beauty of the sphere, is that it's more capable of arc existence. It's just, again, harder to move. That's its biggest impracticality, is hard to get it out of the way. And like an O'Neill cylinder, like you have enough dirt and wall that you're pretty much protected from most, right? And these are all, break down the asteroid stuff.
I started reading a book and then I lost interest in the book. But it opens with our hero having to go to the end of one of these cylinders. I don't remember what the book was. It was like, that's cool. Because they were getting, because it was warming up because it was getting somewhere and they were having tidal problems.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I get it.
Yeah.
But then they had to go figure out why they were getting these tidal problems, and they eventually find out that they've drifted too near an astral body.
Mm. And it's pulling on them.
And they're going to die.
Yeah.
Because
it's pulling on them.
It's pulling on them.
Greater than they can pull away from it. Because that's the other thing cool about an O'Neill cylinder. If we were actually, got shuttles or whatever going on, the ends of the O'Neill cylinder could be open. Just like the outside of the Earth is totally open.
Yep.
Right? There's enough gravity to keep the stuff in where you need the stuff. And then there's enough not where your spaceships can just sort of pass through the cylinder and dock where they need to, and elevator to the gravity zones. And yeah, there's some practical purposes.
That's very cool.
There's some practical purpose that would make it work. But like I'm always reluctant to just say, look, people are lazy and stupid.
I'm never reluctant to say that.
Yeah. But just in this episode, I've been reluctant to say that this is the biggest obstacle to our success. And greed. Those that are in
Why
a
would we
position...
go do that if we're not going to make any money at it?
Right? So question for those that think a Mars colony is a good idea. Why? Right? Who stands to gain from this idea?
Who stands to gain from a North American colony?
Right? Well, I mean...
Who stands to lose? Well, the people who already live there.
Mm-hmm.
But who stands to gain? The monarchs.
The monarchs.
The oligarchs.
The butterflies. Oh, different monarchs. My bad.
Moth.
Like a moth to a flame.
My old flame. I can't even think of her name. What was her name? Was it Doris? Was it Chloe?
Spike Jones?
Drink.
Spike Jones. No. Yes, Spike Jones.
Yeah, Spike Jones.
I kept trying to call him Spike Lee in my brain, and that was not.
And it's not Spike Mulligan either.
It's not a Spike Lee.
Spike Milligan?
Spike, yeah. Spike the dog.
Bump set Spike.
So things that could get us there are things that could get us somewhere. The somewhere is definitely debatable. Again, to the laser push idea.
Yep.
There's a plan to launch microsatellites at right around 10% the speed of light. And we're going to launch these bad boys all the way on their 40-year journey to the Centauri systems.
Cool.
They're going to do a drive-by because no way you can stop these things once they get going. Because they're this big. They're going to hit that target 4 light years away, right? It's not going to happen. So you're not stopping it. It's just going to telemetry by. Whoa. And then it's going to take 4 years for the pictures it took to get back to us.
Yep.
4.5. And then we can be like, oh, maybe. There's an atmosphere, maybe. It kind of looks, right? But I mean, it's not that these things aren't, that one is a practical and has been demonstrated thing. It's just, again, the science community is trying to do it without too much business community participation. So
because what's in it for the business?
Slow and expensive right now.
So I have a half an answer, but I want to get back to it in a second. You highlight a particular issue that we seem to always leave out with going off and exploring the stars, and that is the orienteering problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? So right now, we navigate by where our sun is.
For the most part.
Or where our Earth is, or where that tree is.
Yep. We landmark for the most part.
Yeah, so when we're moving in a universe that's moving, the calculations become increasingly difficult to figure out where we are and where we're going. Because I can see it now, but if I aim for where it is where I see it now, it won't be there when I get there.
I mean, that's kind of just a math thing. Right?
Yeah, but it's not a simple math thing.
No, goodness no. But we have been able to put a lander on an asteroid.
Yeah, it's true.
We can hit these moving targets.
But it's right here.
Essentially, cosmologically speaking, it is next door.
Right. So we're proposing to send proportional to the universe, nanobots, to go explore an entire solar cluster, stellar cluster, let's say, rather, the Centauri's, and maybe there's planets there, and we're just going to shoot in that general direction and hope that we pass the planets when we're going by.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. Well, that's what the shooting out satellite bits. We can
kind of we can do radio interferometry and find out.
And other cool things
suggest
we
that
want to do first is better space telescopes, so we can actually look at the places before we go. Because that 1/10 the speed of light flyby, you might not get the information you're after. Like, early picture of Pluto is this digitized weird blob.
Yep.
Now pictures of Pluto are direct image, right? Like, we just turn appropriate James Webb and go click, and it looks really cool. But we need that to take that picture at least 10 light years away.
Yep.
Just so that we have a good idea of where we're going. We can then create maps and charts and stuff based on that picture, roughly, right? So we have a good guess as to where we're headed, and we can make course corrections on the way.
Yep. But
I mean, people sailed the oceans without latitudes or time.
Yeah, and quite often they missed.
Yes.
Right. The ones that
that's how we found places.
We hear the tale. We hear the tales of people who did not miss.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Or who missed successfully.
Yes. Captain Cook. Good miss.
Yep.
Actually, he probably had
Amerigo Vespucci. Good miss.
Good miss. I don't even think he came here, did he?
No.
Yeah, probably not. But I think like it's not out of the realm of possibility to do this.
I think it's doable.
Like that's sort of the, like, most of my life I'm like, oh yeah, science fiction. Oh yeah, maybe. Probably not. It seems highly unlikely. To what end did we do this? The only reason I can come up with is just the survivability and pure curiosity. There's always the adventure spirit in roughly whatever 2% of our population that just wants to go learn to explore.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But they want to avail themselves of the whatever is in technology that they can then monetize and profit on.
No space race, no Tang.
Right.
Yeah.
No space race, no space blanket.
Right. No, we'd still have cool Hasselblad cameras.
Yeah, probably eventually.
Because the first pictures were taken on those cameras.
Yeah. So there's lots of things that we have too. We have because of the space race.
Yeah.
A lot of miniaturization in electronics. Most of the advancements in computing came from the war, and they came from exploration.
Yeah.
Right. So we do a lot of this stuff, and the spin-off is arguably corporations get to make lots of money by selling us back the tech that we paid for with our tax dollars.
Yes. Practical to tactical.
Yep. So
tactical to practical.
So honestly, I don't know how we would ever convince everybody to leave. Like even if the sun we knew the sun was going to go up in 100 years, people alive today will go, well, it's 100 years from now, and there will be people, you're just making it up, right? It's like the vaccine scare. You're just trying to scare me with the sun.
Yes.
So I don't know that we will go. All of humanity. I suspect someday some of us will go.
There are evacuation orders in forest fire zones now. People are like, I don't care. This house is stood here. My family was here. I'm going to die here. Right?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
But there are those people, and you know what? That's clear, good. Your choice. You're allowed. I'm not going to force you on my escape vehicle. Right?
There's only two seats in the escape pod.
That's the other downside.
Right.
How big of the escape pod did we build?
And what are you escaping to? Like, escape pods and spaceships are hilarious to me because if you're already in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. I mean, having been the lifebuoy sentry in the Pacific Ocean, you don't know how useless you feel because your job is wait for a little dot to bob by, hope you see it, and throw it a thing.
We'll just have to leave that body bobbing in the ocean for today. Thanks for tuning in to another weird episode of How Did You Get There? I've been Stephen.
I'm still kind of Jeffrey.
And we'll be back in a fortnight with
maybe some holiday?
Maybe some holiday.
Maybe.
Until then, cheers.
26 days till Christmas.